High above a quiet valley, nestled amongst the clouds, stood a tall, lonely stone tower. It was a peculiar structure, without any doors or stairs, just a single arched window that looked out at the endless sky. Inside this tower lived a girl named Elara. Elara had the most extraordinary hair. It was impossibly long, cascading down her back like a river of spun gold. It was soft to the touch and radiated a gentle warmth, almost as if it had captured the very essence of sunlight. Every morning, Elara would perform a quiet ritual. She would sit by the window and slowly, meticulously brush her long golden locks. She didn't do it out of vanity or because she was told to. She did it because the simple act, the weight of the brush, the rustle of the strands, reminded her that she was real. This tower, this room, this solitary existence was all she had ever known. Below the tower, in a small, hunched cottage, lived an old woman named Mora. She was Elara's only connection to the world, her watcher, her provider. Every day, Mora would bring a basket filled with food and books. Winched up to the high window on a rope. "Stay inside, little sunbeam," Mora would always caution, her voice thin and reedy. "The world outside is a dangerous, cruel place. You are safe here." For years, Elara believed her. The tower was her sanctuary, the world a distant threat. Until one day, she started to wonder. The change began with a sound. One sun-drenched afternoon, as Elara was tracing the patterns of clouds with her finger, she heard something new, singing. It wasn't the chirping of birds or the whistle of the wind through the stone. It was a human voice, rich and clear, drifting up from the valley below. A young traveler named Finn had stopped to rest in the shade of the tower. He looked up, intrigued by the strange doorless structure. "Hello," he called out, his voice filled with curiosity. "Is someone up there?" Inside the tower, Elara's heart hammered against her ribs. It felt like a trapped bird beating its wings. She had never spoken to anyone but Mora. Her world consisted of stone walls, worn books, and her own reflection. Peeking cautiously over the windowsill, she saw him, a boy with kind eyes and a pack on his back. Hesitantly, she whispered back, a sound barely louder than a breath. That first whisper blossomed into a conversation, and then into a daily ritual. They talked every day, their voices bridging the distance between the ground and the sky. They talked about everything and nothing. Elara described the shapes of clouds and the stories she read in her books. Finn described the feel of a dusty road under his feet, the taste of wild berries, and the vastness of the sea. He spoke of places she had only dreamed of people, of laughter, of choices. He spoke of freedom. As Elara listened, a new feeling bloomed within her chest, something warm and bright that had nothing to do with the sun. It was hope. She began to see the world not as a danger to be feared, but as a possibility to be explored. Her hair, catching the afternoon light, seemed to shimmer with a newfound intensity. It wasn't magic, not in the way the old stories described. It was the simple, powerful glow of a dawning realization. One evening, as the sun painted the horizon in hues of orange and purple, Ilara stood at her window, looking out at the world that had been forbidden to her for so long. She finally understood a profound truth. The safety Mora offered was a cage, however gilded, a life without choice, without the freedom to make your own mistakes and find your own joy, wasn't really life at all. With a newfound resolve, she began to braid her long golden hair. It was a thick, strong rope of light. But she wasn't tying it for an escape in the dead of night, or for a prince to climb. She was preparing it to begin her own journey. Down below, Finn waited not as a rescuer, but as a friend, a guide to the first step. He had offered her a glimpse of the world, but the choice to step into it was hers alone. Slowly, carefully, Ilara descended. The wind, which she had only ever felt through a window, now whipped around her, a wild and exhilarating embrace. The ground felt solid and real beneath her feet. She stepped into the world, leaving the silent stone tower behind her. It remained on the hill, a monument to a life she had outgrown. Her hair still glowed with the warmth of the sun, a beautiful reminder of where she had come from. But now, as she looked at Finn and smiled, a new light shone even brighter. It was the light in her eyes, the light of freedom, of choice, of a story just beginning. If you enjoyed this magical tale, give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more stories that inspire courage and wonder. Your support helps us bring more fairy tales like this to life. Thank you for watching.